to everyone. It's Ada from Poison Rock, and I'm really honored to have with us, let's say, one of the legend in the music, Tony Kakko from Sonata Arctica. I want to say, first of all, how are you? This is the toughest question, easy, over the time.
I'm feeling good. I'm very happy to be here, and it's really warm in Finland, unseasonably warm actually, and with this worrying, but I do enjoy it enormously. Actually, it's nice to be outside with t-shirt and shorts and such things, which is not a thing that you usually do in northern parts of Finland at this time of year. So yeah, I'm really happy actually in that sense.
Yeah, in this
And
way,
I'm looking forward to the tour as well. It's going to be fantastic to start the
yeah,
tour
it's gonna start.
a few days more. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how, when exactly it's gonna start? Because you're covering different states, different states.
Yeah, we are starting from Sweden and then going to Norway and back to Sweden and then going to mainland Europe.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the official day when the tour is gonna start is upcoming almost.
It's on Wednesday. Yeah, we're next week. Wednesday is the
Next
first
week,
show. Yeah,
yeah. And
yeah.
I mean, there's has been like as well, like we have a gig in Italy, which is I think the 7th of October. And yeah, if I mean, I think I remember it's the 7th of October. And of course, for everyone that is in Milan, as I said in Italian, is in Milano, of course, I got the chance to see you finally because I know that you have a lot of fun already. Already the album between
Yes.
between people that we know in the music field already, they were reviewing the album, getting preparing for the photos, get preparing for everything, and so there is already a lot of people moving in Italy at least. But of course, you're covering
Fantastic.
France and Germany, so almost like as well like
Yeah.
mainland. So I
Yes.
have you different gigs as well in Germany, more than one.
Yes. Germany is a big country and there's a lot of metal people there, so it's a good place to tour for metal
Yeah.
bands. So absolutely, we're gonna have more than one tour, one show there. Would love to see more of Italy as well. There are a lot of cities that we had never ever played, so hopefully
Sicily.
that will happen eventually. Yeah, Italy, Milano is usually the place where we go, but we have been in other places, in Rome also once, twice, I think. So
Yeah,
not too many times.
maybe
Should be
we should.
more definitely, but
Yeah. We should plan
yeah, but
as in Sicily. We have an amazing Greek because I'm from Sicily, so I am in the
right,
South Island in an island. We have a beautiful Greek kind of like small, let's say, arena where everyone plays like the big musician like Robert Plant, like all these
right,
elegant acoustic set. Not only all the time acoustic, but it would be amazing for Sonata Arctica, literally playing there. It's
that would be
about, I mean,
fantastic.
that would be amazing. And of course, so this,
Hopefully, we can make it happen one day.
yeah, hopefully, I mean, it's gonna be amazing. A different setup, you would be, you would have some volcano behind you. That's different, but it's a nice setting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, of course, this album that has been released, Lyrical Beyond, literally, like I was reading reviews. I'm more from my own personal point of view because I've been a reviewer too. But of course, I want to see what people think, and it's everyone. They are saying one thing: back to the roots, kind of.
Yes, kind
It
of,
was intentional.
kind of.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
intentional.
it was sort of natural thing. Our previous album, first of all, it turned out much softer than we
Soft, okay.
meant and anticipated. It's like softer, like the production and everything. It was much softer. And then, of course, there was this acoustic adventures thing that
Yeah,
happened during the
I remember.
COVID years there, and so
Yeah,
we got that thing out of the system, and we had a 10-week European tour during Finland and Europe
yeah.
with that album. So we got that out of the system, and I can tell you that after 10 weeks, we were very ready to get back into metal and play like electronic with real instruments. And then we had this 25th anniversary Sonata Arctica shows, festival
Yeah,
shows
exactly.
mostly, and we took a lot of those old power metal songs in the set list during that time. So it was fantastic seeing the reactions of the fans, how they
Yeah,
loved the songs, and they were like, "Wow, the people they are still there and they
yeah,
love it." And we had so much fun playing those songs live,
yeah.
and get so much energy from the audience and from the music. And so that's when we made a decision that we need more of this. This is what we want to really do, and let's go back there. And
That's cool.
I started writing songs in the vein of power metal, and then this is the outcome.
Yeah.
Definitely the most power metal album Sonata Arctica has released in a long time.
Yeah, because
So yeah,
many people are thinking like, like maybe it's because this is the 25th anniversary or whatever. But I think it's because, like you said, we had a little bit more acoustic and a different sound that you was like, hey, we did and we came back, we did more aggressive, let's say, and sound. Because I
yeah,
don't think it was like meant to be that this was kind of a back on, or let's say to the original, to the aggressive sound that has something to do with your 25th anniversary. I don't think it was made on purpose. Or you meant,
no, that was not the reason. It was just
yeah,
we just definitely wanted to go back there and actually see if there is something for us still in the power metal,
of course.
and obviously it seems like there is.
Yeah,
The reactions we got from fans, even with the first single already, it was like amazing. Like we
yeah,
haven't had such a success and like positive reactions from people in very long time.
that,
Everybody's always been complaining about something, and of course now as well. But it was like overwhelmingly 99.99% was
yeah.
just like yes, finally.
That's, yeah,
Yeah,
because I mean, it's normal, you have your own fan base, your own fan of since like since the first album Ecliptica, so that's what people usually expect. But I think there's people more always open to what's new with the band, because I think even if
yeah.
there is some sound, they could be to the, let's say, to the past. Someone is connecting. Gillian, there is someone connecting. Okay, so
Not here. I can see it as well. Children.
yeah, maybe my mistake. Okay, I will cut this part. We have a guest. So I was saying that even if, like I said, maybe there could be, some sound that was like remembering and going back to, let's say, more classic Sonata Arctica style, there is always something new, I think, like some new sound, because of course there is an evolution. I mean, you're not like the teenager, the young guy, you started really young. You're
Yeah,
man now, so there is a difference in the sound as well. You experience, you toured, you went all over the world, so I think that has an impact in Clear Cold Beyond as well.
absolutely. Yeah, of course, everything we do and listen and everything, life affects what you do,
Exactly.
generally speaking. And then there are many things that are very much different
Yeah.
in our lives
Yeah, of course.
in comparison to 30 years ago. Or 25 years ago, it was like totally different world. We were kids. We didn't know what to do, what we are doing. We were just, very excited to be there, out doing and meeting the fans and playing and doing what we do. And now it's of course we've seen so much and been around so much, so we have an idea. And it's not very often that we run into something new, something that
Yeah.
is different from what we have already done. But it's still doesn't uh, you know affect the fact that we really want to explore still and find new things in music
Yeah.
and stylistically. And we definitely have done that in the past. We haven't been the easiest band to follow. If like like AC/DC, for example, it's been easy because they have been doing
Yeah.
like stylistically the
Motorhead.
same thing. They've been really
Yeah.
constantly. So
Yeah.
and we have not done that. We have a lot of terminal albums, but then we have a lot of different
But isn't
style albums. And on every album, I think we've still had like a power metal song, at least one. So
yeah.
that has always been there. But
Yeah.
but definitely now this is joined. This new album, Clear Cold Beyond, is joined with the earlier stuff, also
Yeah.
production wise. So that's fantastic.
Production wise, what do you mean, like with production wise?
Well, we went back to the original crew with Mikko Karmila. He
Okay.
mixed the original albums until Days of Grey. I mean, Stone Score, her name. That was the last album he did with us, and then things just he wasn't available, and then things went, little sideways, and we started working with different people. But now, as we went back to power metal, we wanted to go and work with the original gangster himself, who invented the Sonata Arctica sound in the studio, and so it was very nice to work with him again and easy, and we definitely trust his vision of the sound. He knows how to make Sonata Arctica sound like Sonata Arctica when it
That's
comes to power metal, at least.
Yeah, that's beautiful when you have like this chemistry with someone that is outside of the band, like outside
Yeah.
of the crew of the band that you can as well trust, and okay, I know what he's doing because we know him. That's gonna be a good outcome because that's the sound that we had and that we want, at least for now. Of course, like a lot of people, like like in the reviews, were talking about how amazing you had the choice of the first song, first in the line. They say like that's a perfect start for the new album. That's the perfect aggressive track. Of course, like it was as well like an intentional choice to put first in the line as the first track in the album.
Yeah, it was funny. I started writing the song, and I knew that this would be stylistically fitting with the
Yeah.
first song. So I the demo name was First in Line, the
Okay.
first song of the album. So I just started writing the lyrics around that when that time came,
Thank you.
and it was funny. But definitely, we did not lock the first single at that point. Still, we worked and talked with the label later on when the album was finished and everything, and then it was like common choice. Everybody wanted to have that as the first one because we have been talking so much about going back to the power metal, and this song definitely underlines it. It's probably one of the harder songs, not the fastest on the album, but harder and catchy and so forth, and really Sonata Arctica like song. So it
Yeah.
was a perfect choice as first single.
Yeah, and of course, like there's a as well, like of course, like for me, like one of the most interesting title, of course, is Shamat because it's a Persian title, and it's
Yeah.
interesting because being from the area where I am, from the Mediterranean Sea, it's quite interesting to hear that. So how, I mean, what is behind that? I'll leave you to
No, it's checkmate basically, and it's like
okay.
it's a human relationship song where you are in a stalemate sort of thing, and one person has to give for in to enable this relationship to go somewhere or end and release
Okay.
everybody from the difficult situation. So it's like
It's like
somebody has to give up basically, make the error because you can be stuck with chess. Either one,
yeah,
both
exactly.
players are playing the perfect game, but if you want it to end, then somebody has to just
So
intentionally make the bad move.
yeah, unfortunately, that's the life. Yeah, and the choose of the Persian name comes from something that you're interested, like could be or
I
just
just yeah, I ran into the Shahmat term somewhere, and of course that sounds really cool. Must have
yeah.
been some TV series or something, and I just wrote it down. This is how I work. Whenever I hear something cool, I write it down, and when I then later on start working on the songs, I go through all the stuff that I've written down, and oh, this sounds inspiring, and
Okay.
I can work with that. So yeah. I'm sure a lot of songwriters do the same thing. They're constantly working, even when they are not working.
Yeah,
They
because
write down ideas and such.
yeah, because as well as a songwriter, I mean, most of the influences should came from everything. Like I don't know, TV shows, movies, or life, whatever, nature, whatsoever. But if we should have to say like literally, there's been like a recurrent biggest source of influence for you like in all these years that always can be like like the same the because okay, this is the one that will never like this is my kind of inspiration no matter what.
Well, it has changed, or actually, I have found a lot of artists that are
Mhm.
have influenced what I do. Queen was the first band that I fell in love with when I was like maybe 10 years old or so, and
Okay.
I realized that I'm gonna love this band till the end of my days, and that's probably going to be the case as well. And it's definitely a lot of people have said that they can hear Queen in many of the Sonata Arctica songs. There are bits and pieces like arrangements and such that speak the language of Queen in a way.
Okay.
And Midnight Oil was one band that impacted me heavily. It's like environmental awareness and such
Yeah,
things
that's important.
that this band is talking about a lot. And then Aerosmith, big thing. All of these bands that are in the dawn of their
Yeah, I'm
sunset
sad for
sunset
everything.
bands in a way. It's sad. But then again, there are artists that I've found later, like Devin Townsend. I just adore him. It's like, oh God,
He's a god.
amazing.
I
Yeah,
don't know if you've heard.
yes, he is
Yeah, he produced this band called O,
mind blowing.
like that. They are a band from
Yeah,
Japan or China. They are it's called O or something. There is this singer as a woman and a voice. She's stunning. She's I mean, where is this? His production behind? I don't doubt
yeah,
it. I mean, he's amazing. He's a genius, literally. He's one
he
of the
is absolutely
visionaries.
mad,
Of,
crazy genius. Yeah,
he's one of the visionary of our era. Yeah, and I mean, of course, like as well, like in all the coming back to the track list, there's a nice song that you could say, okay, from it sounds I don't like to do this question, but I have to ask you because people will ask you like how far how California, do you love California? You dream to be California in Sunset Boulevard instead of being the Met in Finland?
yeah. Everybody thinks that I'm talking about, California falls into the sea. Like it's something that I hope to happen or such. But the whole idea and the lyrical content of that love song came to be when I read this like scientific fact thing that it's impossible for California to actually slide into the sea like it does in like science fiction movies and such, and catastrophic movies, because the continental plates are moving in the wrong
Yeah,
direction for that to be even possible to happen. Of course, there's going to be like crevices and such sea
yeah,
cracks and a
of
lot of
course, yeah,
the earthquakes and such, and that's a
of
devastating
course,
thing. But
yeah,
it like it's not going to be like California slides into the ocean. No, that's not going to happen. So
yeah.
I use that as a like a when cows fly kind of
Okay,
idea. I'm going to be yours when cows fly when California falls into the sea, which is
That's
never going to happen. So yeah,
I mean, you are really like you have like a good idea as a title tracks. Like the
yeah, I don't know.
I really like that because people can think something and then go and read and there's something else in the lyrics. It's
Yeah, it's a lot
like
of attention there.
yeah, like you can't just read the title. You have to listen all the song and all the lyrics to fully understand what you're meaning. And of course, in all the album, of course, as always, there is always some song that I don't know. Maybe you're looking mainly to perform, or you already perform that. Literally, it's like okay, I wrote all this album. Is my lyrics, is our music, but there is this or this other song that's for me in particular is Tony. I'm waiting to put out in to sing. So, what is that in this case for you? Like, which are the songs that you're more like looking for to sing out?
Hold on. From this album, at
Yeah.
least, what's the name of the song? The Prisoner of Name. One moment.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. We are gonna cut it
I'm
every.
gonna have to check it.
I have the track
I'm
list here
gonna
if
check
you
it
need
from
them.
here. Teardrops is the name of the song.
Oh,
Because the demo name of the song was something totally different, and that's where my mind always goes to the wrong name. So Teardrops, yeah, I love that song. It's like a balls, basically, and it rolls nicely. And I
yeah.
love the song, the melodies, and everything. And I would love to do that live. Unfortunately, it's not going to be on the set list on this tour yet, but it's
Okay.
something that we would love to go back to, or I at least would.
So
So yeah.
yeah, of course, like you mentioned the set list for the tour. Of course, we don't wanna spoiler on anything, but I think that you're already, like you mentioned, prepared the set list for this tour. What the fan can
Yes.
expect for what we can say from this upcoming tour. Of course, there is gonna be, I think, songs from the last album.
Yeah, we've played few, 4 or 5, depends. Let's see.
Okay.
And then we are bringing back a few songs that we have not played in a while in our live shows as well, the older stuff. And then the usual crowd favorites, of course, we can't have a show without Full Moon, for example.
Yeah,
And I Have a Right. It seems to be a song that has a big impact always on people.
Yeah.
So such songs that we need to play, but also some songs that are like coming back on this tour. So it's going to be fresh tour.
Yeah, it's kind of like fan can expect everything, like just to just I don't want to say a new Sonata Arctica, but like kind of a new as well, because like bringing old song, a new song with the old sound, a new sound, it's always like, I think every time you see your favorite band live, it's like the first time, because nothing is, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like you're recorded as a performance and I'm putting play in a loop all the time. It's always different. So we are human beings, is always different. And of course, just one thing that I like to ask to the musician is that always about their own musical journey, because like we mentioned before, you started that you were really like, you were a kid. So what about like because you are a keyboardist as well, you improvise to be a guitarist sometimes and you're a singer. How everything started for Tony when you were literally a kid, like, I don't know, 2 3 years old, how you started like to getting even closer to the music. What made you think like, oh wait, yeah, I wanted to be a keyboardist?
Well, when I was very young, like a total child, I was oftentimes during the winter, especially, I was standing on top of the snow hill. And we lived in an apartment house, so there's like a lot of windows and everything, and I'm standing there with my shovel and playing it like a guitar and singing like pig's English that no not any real words, but I'm coming up with songs and singing, and sometimes there were people like, like doing like a rock star thing there. And then I think I was like 3 or 4 years old, and me and my parents, we were at the bus stop waiting for the bus to come, and there was this older gentleman who asked that what I'm going to be when I grow up, and I said, oh, no, I'm going to be a singer.
Really?
Oh, I'm going to be like an opera singer. No, I'm going to be a rock singer. And yeah, here I am. I never actually uh, intentionally went into that direction. I didn't study it. Everything has just happened. So lucky accidents. But when I was, I think 7 8 years old, my little sister, she got a keyboard as a birthday, a Christmas gift, I think it was, and I was not allowed to use it until they noticed that my sister doesn't want to touch it, and I was like totally,
So
I want to do it,
so
and
you're like,
that's how it.
yes.
Yeah, they had not realized that I would actually be into music that much for some reason. I don't know, blindness, deaf people, my parents at the time. But it went well, and we started, upgrading the keyboard thing, and I just, loved it and worked on it, and then when eventually got better and better at it, and then started buying my own gear and
And
so forth, and guitars and such things. And the guitar thing was funny. I never thought that I would really like to play guitar, but my friend got an electric guitar, and I just picked it up and put my fingers somewhere and just took a chord, and it happened to be a minor, E minor,
yeah,
which is really easy because you just press
yeah.
two strings down, and
You
go,
just
"Whoa,
find
how
yourself
did I do
that.
that? It sounds like a real thing." And then I started studying, and then like, wow, I could actually play this thing maybe a little bit to an extent.
And
And I got myself an acoustic guitar, which I still have that one as well.
so
And yeah, that's how it started. And I think as a songwriter, it's really good to have two fundamentally different instruments that you can play enough to write songs with, keyboards and guitar, because you easily get stuck with your own routine and loops, whatever you play, and it's sometimes,
you
at
have to
least
go
with my
back.
skill set, it's difficult to get out of them. So yeah, just leave the keyboards be and take a guitar, because I can do different things with guitar than I do with keyboards, which is my main instrument. But so yeah, it's really healthy
Yeah, but
in
that's
that sense.
that's it. So that the old man at the bus stop knew already your future. He was like, it was a witchcraft.
Yeah,
Like he knew already, like you
yeah.
could be a singer.
This is what I've been told. Yeah, this is what I've been told ever since I was a kid. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
funny.
think, yeah, thinking about today, like 25 years after you have been in Sonata Arctica, like the today yourself could ever, what could what could tell what could you tell to that young to the guy, to the baby that was at the bus stop when that man said, oh, you're gonna be a singer? What would you like to tell him if you were like back there, sit, sitting next to your younger child?
Just go for it. Study music a little bit to an extent. I was not introduced with any music studies until I was
Okay.
18, 19 years old, when I applied for school myself for a few years. and so that would have been really healthy to get that kind of education when I was like
Yeah.
maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, really young, and you are clean and you're sucking all the information in, and it
Yes.
would have been like a child's play
Sure.
to get to learn that. When I was 18 and I started my musical studies, a brief moment in life,
Yeah.
it was slightly difficult. I was like studying and had a lot of tests and everything besides the musical thing, which was like a once a week, twice a week kind of thing. And it was very difficult to see these kids that were like 10 years younger than me master all these things that I was struggling with already at that time. Because that was like the main thing in their life. The school is just child's play at that time when you're
Yeah.
7, 8 years old, and then
Yeah.
you have music which you love and you learn it so easily.
Yeah, I
So
think that as
yeah,
well, like today, a lot of things changed as well in the school system that you have, for
yeah,
example, even if you're going to school, I remember when I was going to school, there was only flute to play. You didn't have any other option.
oh, yeah,
You have to be a flute.
not much. Yeah,
Yeah. So now you have or piano, the classical flute or piano. Now you have drum. There are even only the music. Even for like I don't know the high school, you can just choose that. Of course, you can go to the conservatoire, like to the
yeah,
conservatoire study and be more like a classic musician. But there wasn't, there isn't a school. There are even a school that literally prepare you to be in the music of rock, for example. But we didn't have that when
yeah.
a kid.
Popular side of
Yeah.
music. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah,
and
same.
I had to learn the flute, and it was terrible. I remember saying, "I don't want to play flute. I'm sick. I have a cold. I can't play flute." So I totally. So today, that's good. A lot of kids, they have the chance to choose literally even to play drum, to sing what they want. So in 20 years, there'll be another Tony Kakko probably. And
Yeah.
that we will have another amazing, of course, musician. But coming back to the album. So all in all, the album, did you expect literally that it was getting so much good approval, literally people loving it? Because I didn't read not one negative reviews by now, and I went throughout Blabbermouth to Italian website. I went throughout this morning while I was having my coffee, so it was my morning reading.
Yeah, it was something that we really hoped for and wished for, but I was super nervous until the release of the first single. And then it's like, oh, they are gonna like this album, if they love the first single. And the second one came out, and it was good reactions as well. So I was like, yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
So of course we were hoping for it, and to an extent expecting as well, because for more than 10 years people have been crying like Sonata Arctica should go back to power metal, and now we are doing it. And had the people like been totally negative about what we did with this album, it would have been like, I don't understand
I
humanity anymore, kind of thing.
I mean I
It
mean
would have been just wrong.
I mean, tomorrow you can even say, okay, next album we're gonna add some, I don't know, some flute or some violin. Who cares? I mean, it's just, I think that if you love
Yeah,
a musician, I heard so many times when there were band, being away, and then maybe they turn out in another ways. People say, oh, they are more in this way, they're not like that anymore. But I think if you have to see behind what is only the music, because there is people that are trying to
mm,
explore other side of music, and there are souls. So that's what make the music, the people behind it. So it's
absolutely.
kind of why you are on stage. Otherwise, you're just gonna releasing music and just be home. That's why it's important going to the concert, because you can see the people performing, the musician performing the music, and it's, I think, connect more even to other genre. I never was into techno music or electronic, or I started to listen them to see and interviewing some of these musicians. They are super talented.
Right.
So why not supporting them? Why not go and just have some fun sometimes? It's always good to have your
Yeah,
mind open. That's how the
exactly.
world is
Yeah, I
uniting. Yeah.
agree. Yes.
Yes. And that's why I always liked Sonata Arctica, because you are always been open about the sound. There's not always we are power, we are that. That's it. Bye. We don't do nothing else. So I hope that as a fan and as a listener, that in the future you will always be open to new influences and just experiment as much as you want, because that only can bring new fan. And so we just make the conclusion, and I leave you to your morning, because I think you are 1 hour later than me, so it's
1 hour more. Yeah, it's 1 hour more.
yeah. I mean, all my friends are in Finland. I don't know why I'm still in Italy. I just have to move. Yeah, that's life. So Tony, it was really an honor having you here, because it was a pleasant conversation, and not only just reviewing and talking about the album, but just like in general a live view talking.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this kind of interviews. It's just not the same questions all the time that you hear anyway. It's more like general talk as well, and it's fantastic.
Exactly.
I love
it's
it.
Spontaneous. We can just make mistake talking, or just, I don't know, forget. Sometimes even the light went off, or the pizza guy came in. Even when I did one interview, there was a band that they had the pizza. I was like, it's fine. It's the best.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course, I wish you good start of the tour, and still my congratulations for the album. And
thanks very much.
See you in Milan, and enjoy the tour and the rest of the day.
Thank you very much.
It was a pleasure, Tony.
Thank you very much. You too.
See you on the road. Bye.